Father Forgets, written by W.Livingston Larned. Listen, son, I'm saying this as you lie asleep. One little paw crumbled under your cheek and the blonde curls stickily wet on your damp forehead. I've stolen into your room alone. Just a few minutes ago, as I sat reading my paper in the library, a stifling wave of remorse swept over me. Guiltily, I came to your bedside. There are the things I was thinking, son. I had been cross to you. I scolded you as you were dressing for school because you gave your face merely a dab with a towel. I took you for a task for not cleaning your shoes. I called out angrily when you threw some of your things on the floor. At breakfast I found fault too. You spilled things. You gulped down your food. You put your elbows on the table. You spread butter too thick on your bread. And as you started off to play, I made for my train. You turned and waved a hand and called goodbye, Daddy. And I frowned and said in reply, hold your shoulders back. Then it began all over again in the late afternoon. As I came up the road, I spied you down your knees playing marbles. There were holes in your stockings. I humiliated you before your boyfriends by marching you ahead of me in the house. Stockings were expensive, and if you had to buy them, you would be more careful. Imagine that, son, from a father. Do you remember later, when I was reading in the library, how you came in timidly with a sort of hurt look in your eyes? When I glanced upon over my paper, impatient at the interruption, you hesitated at the door. What is it that you want? I snapped. You said nothing, but ran across in one tempestuous plunge and threw your arms around my neck and kissed me, and your small arms tightened with an affection that God had sent blooming in your heart and which even neglect could not wither. And then you were gone, pattering up in the stairs. Well, son, it was shortly afterwards that my paper slipped from my hands and a terrible sickening feeling came over me. What a habit had been doing to me, the habit of finding fault, of reprimanding. This was my reward for you for being a boy. It was not that I do not love you. It was I expected too much of youth. I was measuring you by the yardstick of my own years. And there was so much that was good and fine and true in your character. This little heart of you was as big as the dawn itself over the wide hills. This was shown by your spontaneous impulse to the rush in and kiss me good night. Nothing else matters tonight, son. I've come to your bedside in the darkness, and I've knelt there ashamed. It is feeble atonement. I know you would not understand these things if I told them to you during your waking hours. But tomorrow, I'll be a real daddy. I'll chum with you, suffer when you suffer, and laugh when you laugh. I'll bite with my tongue when impatient words come. I'll keep saying as if it were a ritual, he is nothing but a boy, a little boy. I'm afraid I've visualized you as a man, yet as you see you now, son, crimpled, weary in your cot, I see that you're still a baby. Yesterday you were in your mother's arms, your head on her shoulder. I've asked too much, too much.